This inexpensive do-it-yourself plastic piece may just help your RX-8 run better and last longer. What this is an oil cooler block-off that's made from corrugated plastic board. I'll show an example of the material type here. And this installs very easily into the front bumper cover and stays in place, so from the air pressure helps to keep it seated within the front fascia. A side benefit to running these block-off plates when I'm not racing is that it helps to keep the delicate oil cooler fins protected from stones and bugs and other things that would bend them. First off, if you don't have an oil temperature gauge on your RX-8, I would highly recommend one, especially for track-driven cars. What I've noticed is that street driving in the winter is very unlikely that you will get up to an optimal oil temperature. On very cold days, you might only see 150, 160 degrees Fahrenheit, which is nowhere near the 100 to 120 Celsius that the oil experts recommend. What this means, again, is that you're compromising flow, protection, and allowing moisture especially to accumulate inside the engine oil. So when you hear from the RX-8 community about foam on the dipstick, what's happening is the moisture gets trapped in the oil in the winter, the oil never gets up to temperature, and that shows up as foam accumulating on your oil dipstick. Adopting oil cooler block-offs on my RX-8, especially in the winter months, has eliminated the oil foam issue on the dipstick. If it's below, say, 80 Fahrenheit and I'm doing highway cruising, no racing, I will run with both of them in. Once it gets between 80 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, I will remove one of them. Of course, when I run autocrossing or track or other sort of competitive motorsports, I pop both of them out. And in those situations, I usually get up to around 200, 220 Fahrenheit on the oil, which is exactly what you want to see. I've owned my blue RX-8 for 5 years and 20,000 miles. Most of that has been under racing and track use, and that engine still maintains excellent oil pressure and is going strong. And in my white car, I had a pro-built engine from Pineapple Racing. When I had that engine torn down by Rotary Resurrection, they noted that the bearings and the rotor housings and everything looked very good. And that car was also driven with oil cooler block-offs, especially in colder temperatures. So for folks who live in cold climates especially, I highly recommend considering getting an oil temperature gauge, seeing for yourself whether or not you're getting up to that optimal oil temperature. And if not, consider picking up some of this material and fashioning yourself some oil cooler block-off plates.